All rise.
What the what?
It's time for a reading from the Book of Bro. This reading brought to you by Marbrio Andretti. Bro Andretti.
He's a good car driver.
I'm not sure what all that is, but I'm doing it. Bros don't make eye contact when another bro is eating a banana. This has been a reading from the Book of Bro. Praise
you know,
be
that
bro.
also applies to road rage.
Yeah.
Don't make eye contact after road rage.
It implies in life in general. I think,
Yeah, not a good idea.
Don't do a YouTube show while you're eating a banana. Or, you know what, Ronnie? Maybe that's what we're missing.
Oh, there's some bananas over there, but they're keto poison, so I haven't eaten a banana since last Thanksgiving.
Maybe you could just hand me one through the screen.
I'm definitely capable of that.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Mass. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie. Hey, first in the room today.
Yes, who is it?
Now, Randy Brazil.
Oh, my.
First in.
I think that's a very first time right there, Ronald.
I think he is. I think that's a first for Randy.
Well, with huge honor comes huge responsibility.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm going to send him his list of things he's responsible for today now.
Now, does he play a role in determining whether someone gets banned, or do you just do that willy-nilly?
I think that's just me, but he's going to have to stick around afterwards to do the cleanup.
Oh, okay. Well, he signed on for it.
That's one of the deals.
You signed on for it, Randy.
Matt McGrew's here. Salty Dog is here. Vicky, user Vicky, is here.
I've spoken with user Vicky already this morning.
KDM.
Hi, KDM.
Carrie Toes.
Carrie's here early this morning. Wow, you guys are all here early. Did you get a notification? Is that why? I'm checking on my phone right now, so go ahead, Ronnie. Continue.
Says Guten Morgen. Let's see. Melanie Dodson is here.
Not first.
Otis is here. Yeah, we got like a gang of people already.
Well, we have a plethora of a variety show today.
Oh yeah.
So much for us to get to. In fact, for all future reference, this will be the question show. Or as friends would say, the one with all the questions. Have you ever noticed that? I've been binge watching Friends, and I think I've seen every episode now. And each episode starts with the one that, or the one where.
Oh yes,
every one of them. And I figured out which show is doing their 500th episode. It is Ridiculousness. So they are running hand in hand with us.
I think. Well, they may catch us now.
Well, I don't know, because I think we're at about over 550 some episodes, 55, I think.
Oh, but they do more than one show a week.
Yeah, maybe they are lately. I think you might be right.
Which is where we were getting them to begin with, because we were doing 5 shows a week initially.
Can you believe that?
No.
No.
Where did we get all the time?
Right. And where can we get in line to get it all back? That's a better question. Oh, shoot. I can't find it on my YouTube this morning. And
Christine Kenzie is here too. So
okay.
Let's see.
I don't know why I can't find it on my phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wish you would just continue talking so I can look for it.
Well, so can I tell them what the Manatee Draft is today?
That would be very helpful. Sure.
Yeah. So today, the Manatee Draft, we're going to need your help. In fact, if you want to, you can start throwing your picks in right now. But we're going to pick our favorite love songs of all time. All time. You can go back to the 50s, any decade you want, the best love songs of all times. I've got I've got, I think, three winners. I think one of them is a slam dunk. I think it might be the ultimate love song. So I'm not sure. It's probably on Lou's list also. And so that's my only concern, is I have to get the number one pick. I think the number one pick this week is going to win it.
I think I have 4, and I don't think that mine are going to collide with yours at all.
Okay.
I mean, I think the spectrum is so broad.
It is, but there's one that I think stands head and shoulders above every other love song.
Okay. Without giving too much away, is it a Beatles song?
No. In fact, let me look at my list. I do not have any Beatles songs on here, and there are several that are very good love songs, but they're so Tisha says You've Lost That Loving Feeling. That's a good song. That's a sad love song though.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Unrequited Love. Those are always the hurtness songs.
Yep.
You know. When I think about it, I bet that song could have been done as a country song too.
You know what? Yeah, definitely.
I may have just made somebody $1 million.
You know, if only you could change the lyrics a little bit and say, you know, throw a pickup truck in there somehow broke down, you'd have a smash country hit. There
is a country song that talks about being the perfect country song, and I don't think you've ever heard it. It's from David Allan Poe. No, is that what it is? Anyway, it talks about all the stuff in country music, and then when he gets to the end of the song, David Allan Coe, and when he gets to the end of the song, he goes, "Well, my friend wrote that song, and he asked me, is this the perfect country song?" And I said no, because it doesn't talk about mama, or trucks, or dogs, or prison,
yes,
or mama.
See?
And so he goes, so my friend wrote me back that he put an ending to the song. And one of the lines is, she got run over by a danged old train. It's hilarious. You should, what's it called? You Don't Have to Call Me Darling. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Have a great week.
Oh,
thank
wow,
you. Tip
nice.
your waitresses, but don't tip them over.
Vicky is saying At Last by Etta James is.
Oh, that's a wonderful song.
And you know
although
my daughter used it in her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know, I don't know how to say this other than to say it, but when you have been a wedding DJ, and I used to do weddings at the Classic Jukebox back in Roseville all the time.
Yeah.
And then when you factor in all of the hours I was the disc jockey at the Classic Jukebox in Roseville,
yep.
I've heard them all. I really have. And some to the point of ad nauseum.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can really.
What about like Unchained Melody? Oh, my love.
Yep. Yeah,
more?
that's that is definitely, that's a good one. And was that Righteous Brothers do that?
Yeah.
I always get them and the Everly Brothers mixed up, but I know Everly Brothers are a little more poppy. Righteous Brothers a little more soul-y.
Yeah,
so,
and then how about the Chamber Brothers?
I'm not familiar with the Chamber Brothers.
You don't know the Chamber Brothers?
No. Are they current?
They're not even brothers.
I don't think the Righteous Brothers
No, they're not
brothers
current.
either.
They're from the 70s.
Oh.
In fact, okay, I'll tell you what. You turn away from your YouTube for a second, and I'll do the talking while you look up the Chamber Brothers, and then you can share with me the 2 songs that they had that were great hits. And it's really a shame that there's so many licensing agreements that go along with YouTube and playing music, because in a perfect world, we would just be able to call up that music and play it for you right now, but we can't. And I'll be honest with you, that's part of the reason we don't do a whole lot of Mantasy drafts, because of the licensing. Manatee Drafts with music, which we are going to do today, because we'd like to be able to say the song that we like and then play a little snippet of that song for you. Like in this case right here, the Chamber Brothers. The Time Has Come Today. I think that's one of their songs.
That's the song I pulled up.
Okay, that's one of their songs. There's another one too, Ronnie. See if you can read it and have it ring a bell in your noggin.
Okay. Let's see.
The time has come today.
Boots that get better with age.
No.
Let's
You would know it if you heard it.
Chamber Brothers. Oh boy, they're really thick on this Time Has Come Today thing.
All right, well then we won't worry about it, okay? But there is another song that they had.
Let's see. Oh, Otis, he already picked it out. Time Has Come Today. Oh, Unforgettable by Nat King Cole. Rick Clementson.
Rick, it's funny. Did that just pop into your head? Because yesterday, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about Natalie Cole and the duets that she did with her father posthumously.
Oh, yes.
I was just thinking of that, and I struggled for his name. I knew it was Cole, but I couldn't remember the first part.
That song gives me chills when they do that. It's
know.
Because the mix is so good. It's so good.
And that's why our Mantasy draft would be so much better with music if we could just play the snippet of the song.
Well, we could, because they're not going to take the live off. They would just take the feed off of YouTube. So our listeners right now could definitely enjoy it. But then the video is going to disappear. YouTube's going to have their way with it.
I'm wondering how listeners would feel about that. And if I had YouTube up on my phone right now, I could know. It's not rocket science phone. What's the deal?
Melanie Dotson says, this is not her pick, but
okay.
You Light Up My Life. Who is
Debbie
that?
Boone.
Debbie Boone. Yeah.
And
that's it.
Oh, I found it. You light up my life. You light up my world.
I think that might have been probably like the number one song that year. That was huge.
It really was.
Yeah.
Times were much simpler then, too. Okay, you freaking people and you freaking men are so smart massers. I got all your comments now, and I'm about to look at all of them. So you better have written good ones or else.
So Randy Brazil wants to know what band did Fooled Around Fell in Love. That was Elvin Bishop Band.
Yeah, and that's not Elvin Bishop singing.
No, it's Mickey Thomas.
Exactly.
Who is also famous for Jefferson Starship.
We built this city.
Yes. Yeah. He's very versatile. And he's got a voice that's kind of in the upper ranges there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so let me see. Second cup of coffee. Who says that?
That's a song?
Randy Brazil. Okay.
Oh.
You know, it's a shame that I've finally got my YouTube screen up here, and now I've got to message my wife to please come out here and bring me some more warm coffee. I thought I asked her that before the show. This is very good.
She might be, she might not be as well trained as you thought.
Wow, big surprise there. She's a woman. They don't train.
No. They train.
I told you, it's like my dog. Here I go, comparing my wife to my dog. I did that at our wedding reception, by the way. I said one of the reasons I married Teresa was because her eyes look just like my dog's eyes. Well, my wife training like a dog. My dog is a pit bull, and she is the best guard dog you could possibly ask for. When I leave the house here and my wife and my family are here, I never worry because nobody is getting in that house.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless your friend You're not getting in. You're not even getting up the driveway.
Yeah.
All right. However, my dog, when you tell her to sit or stay, she looks at you like,
who are you?
I'm not that kind of dog. I don't do your little tricks.
Yeah. So the best thing, and having trained, I don't know, maybe 100 dogs at the animal shelter now,
Right.
The best thing you can teach a dog is something that it already knows. So because a lot of dogs will do things, they'll come up and they'll stand on their hind legs begging for a treat. Well, if you reward that and you give it a name, that is a trick. And you now can take credit for teaching that dog a trick. If the dog will do it on command, then you've taught that dog something. And see, all we're trying to do at the shelter is we're trying to teach dogs to become more adoptable. So, and I hope nobody here is thinking about well, I hope everybody's thinking about rescuing a dog, but we teach dogs at the shelter that when somebody walks up to the chain link fence, to sit down and to look the person right in the eye.
Oh, wow.
And looking people in the eye is it's not a good thing for dogs. Dogs take it as very confrontational.
Yeah.
When you look at them in the eye. But people feel like they've made a connection with a dog that looks at them right in the eyes.
I taught my daughter that. But still she expects more for me to just put a bowl outside. She's spoiled. A lot of people say, well, all kids smell that way. No, she's spoiled.
Yeah. And Roxanne says it's easier to train a pet than a spouse. Well, unless you're the woman, then you can train the man pretty easily.
Yeah.
I think we're just like dogs. We'll do anything for a kibble. We're simple creatures.
All right. I'm going to try to get through this whole hour, Ron. But before we came on the air here, I had a fly on my head. Couldn't think straight. Felt a little off on one side, like I was leaning,
Is that the reason? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
We're going to go with that.
Okay. Let's see. John Lennon celebrated a 80th birthday.
In heaven.
In heaven, of course. And it got me to being a little nostalgic, thinking about growing up with the mop heads, having the lunch boxes and the Beatles wigs and the dolls and all the merchandise that was associated with. I don't know that anyone had done merchandise like the Beatles did merchandise.
Not up to that point, that's for sure. I don't think
so. Now, that's not to say that the Partridge Family didn't come in a close second.
Yeah.
Boy, they had good merch.
Oh, yeah. So have you seen the movie Yesterday?
No, you told me about this, and I've kind of made a mental note to watch it, but I haven't at this point.
It's so good. So if anybody out there hasn't seen it, it's a movie that is based on the fact that the Beatles never existed.
Mm-hmm.
And because the band, the Beatles, never existed, John Lennon is still alive. And the star of the movie, I'm not going to ruin the movie for anybody here, but the star of the movie at one point finds where John Lennon is living and goes to his house and talks to him. And the actor they used to play John Lennon looks a lot like what I think John Lennon would look like today.
Oh, if he were 80?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's uncanny. And it's such a powerful point in the movie. It really is a super great movie. There's not a lot of big stars in it, but like Ed Sheeran is in it.
Ed Sheeran, you say?
Ed Sheeran.
Oh, no. Ed Sheeran. Okay.
Ed Sheeran. Yeah, not Ed Sherry.
Our Betty Ed.
That would be great. I would love it if Ed Sherry was in a movie.
He would be good, yeah. He'd always have a Bud Light in his hand.
And then there's also a woman from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, we went through this last week. Let's not go through it again.
I can't think of her name, but she's
Ronnie.
She plays the talent agent, and she's very good in this.
I got to tell you, I've said this before, but
I know
my wife, God love her, she loves to watch this show in playback form around 5:00 in the evening. And so we usually sit down for cocktail hour and we watch the hour of the show. And the thing that she can't stop commenting on is how we're two old guys who can't remember the names of anything.
No.
And it's like the blind leading the blind. When you come up against one and I'm supposed to try to help you with it, it's like, I went to the well, but Lassie, there wasn't anything there.
The well was dry.
And so it was. And so then we put it in the hands of our viewers.
And
God
they never
love them.
disappoint.
They always come up with them.
Yeah, they never disappoint. Anyway, that movie is really spectacular, especially if you're a Beatles fan. I think more so than anything else, you will love it. But it stands up on its own, even if you're not. My daughter, I think I made my daughter become a little bit of a Beatles fan, and she enjoyed the movie quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
So you don't have to know every Beatles song to really appreciate the movie, because the premise is so different than anything I've ever seen or heard before. So that makes it very fresh. And
it might even prompt you to go back and to examine some of the other categories in the catalog of songs that is the Beatles.
And in that same vein, the movie about Queen. What the hell is the name of that movie? I can't think.
The movie about Queen is, I think it's called.
Yes. Holy cow! During that whole movie, they're recording music, and the actor that plays Freddie Mercury does a remarkable job, and the singer that does Freddie Mercury's voice is, holy cow, incredible.
Was that Adam Lambert?
It's not. It's another guy that I don't know the name off the top of my head. He's not a mainstream guy.
Melanie guy.
There's
Bohemian Rhapsody is the name of the movie. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Mel Dodson brought that in. But he's not like a mainstream singer, but my God, he absolutely nails Freddie Mercury. I think Adam Lambert is unbelievably talented, but his voice is not exactly like Freddie Mercury's. He's got the same range. He's got incredible range and unbelievable pipes.
Chops.
Oh, wow. He definitely can sing. But this guy sounds so much like Freddie Mercury that it's uncanny. And we get HBO, and Bohemian Rhapsody came on, I don't know, not too long ago. My wife and I had seen the movie in a big theater. We still sat through right where we picked it up, and we watched it. It's that good.
All right. The last, honestly, I don't watch movies. The last one I attempted was the Elton John movie. And it started slow and got worse from there.
Is that called Rocket Man?
Right.
Yeah.
A buddy at work asked me, how was that movie? I said, well, I understand that it gets better about 35 minutes in. He says, well, I'm going to probably give it a try. He comes back and says to me, so I watched 35 minutes in, and you know what? It started to pick up, and then it got worse. So I never went back to it.
It was right here.
Yep.
And then it went here, and then it went here.
Yeah. So I don't know. The last thing I need is to watch a movie and have it suck.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have Netflix?
Yeah.
So I'm just watching, and I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and I was a huge fan of NASA. I knew everything. I built the freaking Saturn V, the Apollo rockets. I built those models.
Ronnie, I think if I'm not mistaken, didn't you actually go to the moon?
On several occasions.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I there.
With Buzz Aldrin?
I could have.
I don't make these things up.
I was about the right age probably. But so there's a show on Netflix. It's called Challenger, and it's about the Challenger tragedy. And holy cow, it's amazing. And there's a lot of things that we know now that we did not know. Although there was a huge investigation after the tragedy. A lot of things came out, but they came out in small bits and pieces. This show puts everything together and locks it up. It's amazing. And plus, I am such a huge space geek that it's just great seeing a lot of these ex-astronauts that are talking about, what led up to it and what part they played. Some of them were working in mission control when it happened. It's really great. I think it's just one season. I don't even know how many episodes it is. I just finished my third episode last night. They're all right around 30 to 40 minutes. I would recommend it for anybody, though, that has any interest in the space program. It's very, very interesting.
All right, take it from Ronnie right there.
Yep.
Okay, before we get into our Mantasy Draft, which today will be greatest love songs of all time. Salty Dog, I'm going to leave that comment for all of our viewers just to read and enjoy. I think I'm going to share that one. Funny, albeit funny. The show just took a really sharp turn south, Ron.
I feel like we slipped on a banana peel.
All right. Let's see. Let's take a couple of emails here, okay?
Okay.
Let's see. If you, and I'm going to throw this out to the listeners right now, before we get to our Mantasy Draft, which is kind of a parallel, but different. In baseball games, when the batter's coming up to the plate, in the park, they play a song for that person. It's called a walk-up song.
Yep.
So our question is, to you, our viewers, what should each of our walk-up songs be? All right. Now, I have a couple in mind, and I think Ronnie has 2 or 3 as well.
Yeah, I have 3 that I'd love.
Let's clear out all of the live chat right now.
Roxanne says, "Who let the dogs out?"
Who let the dogs out? Who? Everything Ronnie and I do, we do in harmony.
I think she might be saying because my dog was barking. Buster he let out a couple mighty barks.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
See, the thing about Buster's bark is he backs it up with a bite.
He's not all bark, no bite.
He's got the market cornered as far as I'm concerned.
He's about 50-50 on bark equals bite.
How much does that dog weigh?
90 pounds.
Yeah, I think you're cheating a little bit.
He's 90 pounds of the most unfriendly lab you're ever going to run across.
Exactly.
So.
And I hate to bring it up all the time, but dogs love me as a rule. All dogs love me. That dog hates me with a passion.
But see, you're not alone. He hates equally. So he doesn't even like my son that much. So it's not just you. It's one of those things where it's not you, it's Buster.
No, it's not you. It's me. It's not Buster.
Buster the Biter.
Buster the Biter. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so what would our walk-up songs be? It's kind of funny because as a talk show host, what talk show hosts use in a lot of formats is what we call bumper music. And usually they'll take about the best 25 seconds of a musical interlude of a particular song so that they might be able to talk it up. 11 minutes after the hour. Tom like a show. That kind of stuff.
Matt McGrew says mine would be Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that's the instrumental. Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible. Tune in next week for more stupid stuff just like this.
As good as that one is, that is a good one that I really thought about. I do have one, and I can really imagine this if I were walking into the batter's box. It would be the best. Can I give it right now?
Sure.
Enter Sandman.
God dang. Is that the one you thought I might have?
No, because it's the love song that I'm worried about.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I had Enter Sandman too.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know who really that song belongs to as a walk-up song?
No.
Mariano Rivera from the Yankees.
Oh.
Because when he came into the game, it was time to take a nap.
It's lights out.
Yeah, lights out. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, that's probably my favorite. Although, can I get my second one too?
Yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. The problem with that song is it has a long beginning before it gets into the Slash guitar riff part. And it's got that kind of eerie scream that Axl Rose does that goes along with it. But holy cow. Those are two. And, they played Welcome to the Jungle fourth quarter at all the Kings games. And I worked the Kings games with my bomb dog for 4 years. And that's such a great fourth quarter basketball song, too.
We're still looking for walk-up songs right now. Songs that would play as Ronnie walks up to the microphone and me alike. Roxanne says Guns and Noses. Matt McGrew says Peter Gunn. And Tisha says Pink Panther for Lou.
Oh,
dun-dun,
yes.
Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun,
No. Yes. You know what? I was in every single band in high school. I was in concert band and pep band and jazz band. And we played the theme for the Pink Panther. It's actually, I believe it's by Henry Mancini, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, right.
And there's a whole song that goes along with it. Everybody knows about 45 seconds of it. But it's a whole frickin' song. So, Roxanne's saying that's not your walk-up song. That's just a funny song. She was just being
okay. Gotcha.
Oh,
all right. I've texted him in my request for more coffee.
Let's see how long it takes for the barista to bring it out.
Yeah, you're in the loop in the Gallagher compound this morning. She could be in the shower too. So,
or at least that could be her excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
I would never know unless you want me to just walk off the camera. I could do that.
So as I was researching walk-up songs, Roxanne just brought out one that was listed on there. It's Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Oh, that's a great rockin' song.
I think Hell's Bells is probably a little bit more iconic for me as a good walk-up song. In fact, Hell's Bells was one of my 3 walk-up songs that I had here.
I have the ultimate, and no one has mentioned it yet.
Oh, well.
I have the ultimate. In fact, I would include all of talk radio.
Oh, wow.
And rock and roll radio this song would be played on.
Dang.
And it's kind of in the news. It's sort of topical, too. Not the song itself, but a member of the people who bring you the song.
Is it My Corona?
It is not.
Oh, I'm sorry, My Sharona.
It is still not. Lou, what is it, says Roxanne?
That would be a pretty good one, too, though. The Knack, My Sharona.
That is, yeah. I've used that before. Mm-hmm.
Melanie thinks it might be YMCA. Thank you, Melanie.
How did the Village people ever catch on? How did that get past the gatekeepers?
You know what? It was the disco era.
True.
To try to bring something like that back today.
You know, if we could just kind of submit something to you here as our viewers, you have to understand that when Ronnie and I were growing up as young men, we were in the same band together. The band was called the Traveling Atomic Prunes.
Yep.
And we played weddings and birthdays and parties and dances, and we played. If you needed a band, we were there.
We played at our high school
rallies.
The rallies,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Played at the rallies. I don't know, half a dozen times at least.
Yeah, even after we graduated, we played rallies.
Yep.
And so my point, disco was beginning to take over in 1976 or so. And if you were a musician, you hated disco.
Yep.
And if you don't already know, the reason why was because disco was done pretty much without musicians.
Yeah.
And so the feeling of musicians was disco music put us out of work.
Yeah.
So musicians would not want to dance to disco music.
No, there were synthesizers in disco. The guitar, there were guitar solos in some disco songs, but for the most part, the guitar was used as a scratch beat type of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not really so much as far as, being a guitar player. And not to take anything away from like Earth, Wind, and Fire, who has a really great guitar player. And in fact, I've seen them play at Hot August Nights. And the guitar player is he's polished. So not to take anything away from, and I wouldn't say that Earth, Wind, and Fire is all disco. They're pop. Yeah, they're more pop than anything else.
That's a hard description.
I don't know, where to put them exactly.
Soul,
I love
no.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Not soul.
Funk, soul, funk, pop. I don't know. Poppy funk. So,
all right.
But yeah, I actually auditioned for a band once. It was over there off Madison. It was at a guy's house, and they wanted me to just play a song. So, and he said, "Hey, whatever song you know best." Well, I knew the Leonard Skinner song we play. Give me 3 steps. Mm-hmm. So I did Give Me 3 Steps.
Okay.
And with the lead in there and everything else. And then he goes, "Yeah, that's really good." He goes, "Now give me whatever disco song you know." I go, "I don't know any disco songs."
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
And he said, "Well, the audition is over." And I said, "Thank you," because I wouldn't want to play any disco songs anyway.
I know. We were so anti-disco. And I remember, though, in order to get girls, you had to go to the discotheque.
Yes.
That's where all the girls were in their dance skins.
What was that one called? Was it Galactica 2000 or something?
Yeah, I think it was.
Or probably it coincided with the year, maybe Galactic 76. Galactica.
Showcase 78 was Radisson.
Showcase 78.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you got to call it something, why not call it that?
I did own a pair of Angel Flights, and I had one of those shiny silk shirts also.
About the only thing I didn't have was goldfish in my shoes. And it's funny because you would go to the discotheque, you would pay the cover charge, and you would go in and brood because you hated disco and wanted rock and roll. And when the DJ would be between songs, you'd yell out, "Rock and roll!" And people would boo you. And,
yeah,
it was the wrong premise. Just nothing was right about that.
I can't remember. I know you'd know her if you heard her name. Her name was Chris something or
Everett.
other. No.
Cheddar.
No.
P. Bacon.
Anyway, she was my girlfriend at the time. She loved disco, and
Oh,
so
sure.
we went to that stupid showcase at least once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore my same Angel Flights and same silk shirt every time because I wasn't going to own more than one disco outfit.
It got
and
you in
know
the
what?
door.
Yes, it was fun though. It definitely was fun, and it was it was history, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I get disco music.
However, when our band would play, people would ask us to do disco songs.
Right.
Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Tavares, More Than a Woman. Remember that one?
Yes.
All right. So walk-up songs, Ronnie, if I could have one, it would be Right Now, Van Halen.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube, do a search for Right Now, and you'll hear the intro. It's incredible. It's like over a minute long, and it just keeps building and building to a crescendo.
That's Sammy Hagar era Van Halen.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
I actually have that written down, Van Hagar.
Yes.
Which brings us to our next topic.
Oh boy, tragic.
Yeah, very sad. Very sad that we lost Eddie Van Halen, and I have so many great memories of that band, Ronnie, as I know you do too.
Yep. I was watching, and of course there have now been so many tribute shows and things, and I was watching some things on YouTube about it. And he innovated so much on guitar, so many different things that now every guitar player uses. I mean, Brad Paisley uses Eddie Van Halen techniques. But Eddie Van Halen was saying the reason he had to innovate so much on the guitar was because he didn't have money to go out and buy pedals and stuff. He came up with his own sounds on guitar. His Frankenstein guitar was not because he liked certain aspects of a different guitar. It's because he could build it for nothing. Somebody gave him a body, somebody gave him a neck, somebody gave him a couple pickups. It was a guitar that he threw together, and he made it his own. And man, he could make that guitar do some amazing things. The tapping on the keyboard, the whammy bar. He really, really was, I think, probably without a doubt, more innovative than any other guitar player. No apologies to Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I think Eddie Van Halen was just in a class all by himself.
Well, to understand the innovativeness of him is to understand the journey of a guitar player from a kid. And when I say that, what I mean is I never took guitar lessons and should have. I'll be the first person to admit that.
Yeah.
But I taught myself how to play guitar. And so when people say to me, hey, can you teach me how to play? And I always say to them, I can only teach you as well as I can play. And I don't wish that on anyone. But the reason I tell you this is because to get to the point where I am now, it took countless hours in a bedroom with the door closed and no phones and no TV and no nothing, just playing the guitar purely for the love of it, hour after hour after hour after hour. And that's me. Ron is an excellent guitar player. You can imagine how many more hours he's probably set aside for playing the guitar than even me. So Eddie Van Halen, I mean, he lived playing that guitar.
Yep.
It's all he ever did.
I read somewhere, because Alex Van Halen was about 2 years older, and he actually started out on guitar, and Eddie started out on drums. And at some point they're like, this doesn't feel right. And they swapped it up. And Alex Van Halen is definitely, he's no slouch on the drums either. He's got some unbelievable chops, but I don't think I'm not sure that we'll ever see another Eddie Van Halen in our lifetime come through. He was just so amazing. So, and the sad thing is though, if you watch any concert, he's got a lit cigarette stuck in his guitar strings or hanging out of his mouth while he's playing. The whole show. It's man, I'm telling you, I'm so glad that you stopped smoking. It kills people before their time.
83 days today.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Buster.
Amazing. And yeah, there's Buster. So, man, if you smoke, please stop smoking.
And you can do it. Trust me, you can do it. It is
possible. Lou has very little willpower, and look at him.
Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering why I don't have a cup of coffee yet.
Nobody else is wondering why you're not.
You had one job. Maybe I should try again.
So
what do we call that?
Roxanne,
second attempt.
Roxanne says, so Ronnie and Lou will be showing us what they got on their guitar on the next show.
What we got on our guitar?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe like the paint, like Eddie did his. I haven't painted any of my guitars. I don't have stickers on my guitars either.
Yeah, no, I don't make a practice of doing that myself.
Hey, Rick Clemenson says he plays at least 2 hours a day. That's a lot.
That's dedication.
I try to play about a half hour. A lot of times I stretch it out to an hour, but I try to get in at least a half hour every day. But the problem is I feel like I've just plateaued. I can learn new songs very readily, thank you to YouTube. But I really feel like I'm just not getting any better. And in fact, I have a little bit of arthritis in my fingers. And so I don't think I'm ever going to get any better than I'm at right now. It limits me just enough that I'm probably as good as I'm ever going to be.
Yeah. At some point, I think you got to face that. I came to a realization last time we played together, and we'll have to see how that goes. All right, let's do our Mantasy draft right now, Ronnie. Okay, let's see. Which side do I want? This side right here. Okay. And closing my eyes.
Hold on. I'm thinking what you're going to do.
I know what you're going to throw.
All right.
Okay, ready? And closing eyes. Yep. And 1, 2, 3.
God dang it.
I knew you were going to do that.
I thought you'd go scissors for sure.
You need to think opposite because I'm reading your mind. Now, I don't know that I need to back the card up on this to last week and your performance.
Oh, boy. That was embarrassing. I'm definitely going to have a better showing this week. Way better.
Boy, I sure hope so, Ronnie.
I didn't sleep for 2 days after that.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, you were completely and utterly annihilated.
You pitched a shutout. You pitched the perfect game. It's never happened before on this show.
Yeah.
Never had a perfect game pitched.
Yeah, I had trouble getting my head through the bedroom door. All right. Today's Mantasy draft is favorite love songs. And you'll notice we didn't say hit love songs. We just said favorites as in our favorites. So we will construct a team of 3 songs for you to vote upon.
Yep.
And we'll need you to do that rather quickly when we complete our draft of 3 different items each. We're running late. I don't know if you want to do a longer show today we've got so much stuff here.
We'll keep it going until we've come to the natural conclusion.
Okay, a naturally aspirated conclusion.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not blunt.
Then Ronnie, I'm going to defer. I'm going to allow you to go first, which will allow me 2 picks in a row.
ho. I think you've just given me the game.
I think you may be wrong.
With the number 1 pick
In the first round.
the Corvette Ronnies choose Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You.
Let's see.
Pin drop. That's so powerful. And it's, had that movie never been released, I would know the song. But when you know what that song means in the movie, oh my God.
All right. Now remember, we're drafting a team of 3. I have deferred as the winner of Rochambeau. Ronnie has picked first and has picked I Will Always Love You, which was a song that was actually written by Dolly Parton.
That's right. She did it. She did it first, I think.
Yep.
But Whitney did it best.
Most notably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dolly Parton's is pretty beautiful.
It's
Okay,
good.
so now I have 2 votes. I have the second pick in the first round and the first pick in the second. And with my first pick in the first round, I am going to go with Maybe I'm Amazed, Paul McCartney.
Yep.
A lot of people ask me what my favorite song is. I think that may be it. And
It's a
my
good one.
second pick in the first round is going to be Have I Told You Lately I Love You, Van Morrison.
Yes.
And I say Van Morrison because there is a Rod Stewart version also, which I'm not particularly fond of, although I do like Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
love his hair. I love his hair.
yeah, sure. Let's reset the table here. Ronnie has picked I Will Always Love You. I have Maybe I'm Amazed by Paul McCartney, and I have I Told You Lately That I Love You by Van Morrison. Ronnie, you're up.
Okay.
It's 2 picks to you, senor.
My next song is going to be Color My World by Chicago.
That's pretty strong. That never would have crossed my list, but go ahead. I bet that harkens back to your band days, huh?
Yes. You know what? I think that might be one of the first songs I ever danced with a girl, slow danced with a girl with in like probably 7th or 8th grade.
No, that was me. I remember.
Color My World, and then went right into Make Me Smile, I believe. So,
wow.
But yeah.
Okay, so now you're hearing from the really inner workings of our hearts. This is a
Yes.
song that goes all the way back to Ronnie's 6th and 7th grade.
And now this one, this is my wife. This song played at my wedding 36 years ago, almost. Lionel Richie, Truly. There's another pen drop. Thank you.
Okay, and that'll bring us to my last nomination, if you will.
Yep.
Wow. All right,
You can have time beating those.
I'm going to go way, way out, Ron. And I know that our viewers will see how carefully and precise I've made my final choice in terms of what it lends to my team of 3.
Okay.
Now, you'll remember that I've picked Maybe I'm Amazed. Maybe I'm a man, maybe I'm a lonely man who's in the middle of something. Okay? And I've picked Have I Told You Lately That I Love You, which was the song that my wife and I danced to at our wedding 30 years ago. And so now, the final pick in today's Mantasy Draft for my team will be You've Got a Friend in Me.
Oh.
Randy Newman.
Yep.
See what I did there, friends? Come along with me on this ride. Come along with me on this team of 3 as we take on Ronnie. As you'll recall, last week, I was unhittable I was unstoppable. I was uncontainable. And I believe that with You've Got a Friend in Me, I have completed the trifecta once again.
Yep. You know what? It's nice. I don't think, you know who I think did it better than him? That father and little girl.
Was that a video on YouTube?
Yes. It's, in fact, they've been on Ellen and they sing that song. Because I think it might be from, I don't know, the Finding Nemo or something movie. But I think I'm pretty confident. You know what? Okay, so let's just recap. I'll give my three. My three are I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
I'm listening to you, Ron.
My second one is Color My World by Chicago. And if you don't know that song, shame on you, but YouTube it. And then my last one is Truly by Lionel Richie.
Okay, that's a strong team.
That's strong.
But I'll go ahead and give you my three as well.
Okay.
Maybe I'm Amazed. No truer words ever spoken about how a man loves a woman than what Paul McCartney said in that song to his wife Linda. Maybe I'm Amazed. The next one, Have I Told You Lately That I Love You? The most innocent, deepest love song of all time. Have I told you lately? Because you know what? If I haven't, I will now. I love you. And I appreciate you.
She didn't bring coffee out?
Bitch. What do you think's going to come across her face when she watches this right now? Okay. Maybe I'm Amazed. Have I Told You Lately I Love You? And then I rounded it out with a simple yet indelible love song, which is You Got a Friend in Me. It supersedes and transcends all relationships, not just the loving ones, even the guy to guy, the men to men, the girls to girls. You got a friend in me. You know, if you ever need anything, just give me a call. So there's our teams. Let's see how we're voting.
So Tisha right off the bat says you got it. Tisha, you're wrong this week.
Who's keeping score?
I got the score.
Okay, all right.
Right now, and Rick says that I won, so Rick is right. Rick's almost always right. Matt says you win.
Matt, I mean, it's
He
Matt.
says I win, so it's 2-2. Melanie says Lou. It will not be a shutout this week. That's
no,
for sure.
Good point.
Yeah, you got it 3-2 right now. Roxanne says I win. I'm so glad Roxanne's here today. I needed that vote. Thank you, Roxanne. It's 3-3. We got 16 people watching right now, so we could have 16. Yep, we could have a lot of votes. Again, who's got Salty Dog gives it to me right now. I've come from behind. It's 4-3.
Our viewers know exactly what they need to do, so they're getting their votes in.
Ray says me, so now it's 5-3.
Wow, this is tough. I need some
Ray
votes
said I
right
had him
now.
With the Dolly Whitney song.
The Dolly Whitten? The Dolly Whitney.
Dolly Parton and Whitney Houston song.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
Don't oversell it, Lou. Okay, Randy. Thank you.
Because that's what Lou normally does. He never oversells.
No, never. Far be it for me. Otis says, gotta say Lou, but very close.
Yep.
All right, I'm not saying anything more. I'm letting the words I've already spoken. I'm Lou Gallagher, and I endorse the words that are coming out of my mouth right now.
I can't remember if I counted Otis's vote now. Let's see.
Is it for me? Because if not, yes, count it.
It is. Okay, Carrie says you, so now it's 5-4.
5-4, that's very close, people. We've got 16 in the room.
Oh, there's 18.
Ty, sorry, both great, but the salesman killed it for me.
See? Yeah. See? How do you like it now? Right?
Yeah, Randy would never buy a car from me, would he? Yet. He listens to the show, the radio show, and the YouTube show every week. Doesn't miss one.
Carrie says it was very close. I didn't think it was going to be that close. I really thought that I would win over the female viewers at the very least with Whitney Houston, because they've all seen that movie.
Yeah.
Trust me, you've all seen that movie. That song at the end gives me...
Steve Klein checks in.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Now it's 6-4.
Damn, I'm getting close. Okay, I don't want to waste a whole lot of time here because we're already over the hour. Very, very Love Truly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Truly is... Wow, that's a
Boy,
deep song too.
So many beautiful songs came out of that Lionel Richie camp.
Oh, boy, I'm telling you. Brick House.
Lady.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about love songs, though? How about Brick House?
Brick
He
House?
loves himself. Yeah, he loves himself a Brick House.
No question about it. And another love song, Can't Touch This.
Yeah.
It's self-love. Whoops. Shoot,
so
my
Roxanne's saying she didn't really like the movie Bodyguard, but she does love Whitney Houston. You know what? I think Whitney Houston is the voice equivalent to Eddie Van Halen. I think that's a once in a lifetime voice. She owned it.
Well, Crace, Lou, what was the most requested wedding song?
Probably
it was at the time. It was probably Righteous Brothers.
Yeah.
Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody.
Yeah, because you've lost that love and feeling is just the opposite.
Right. Yep. Oh, KDM gives you a vote.
Thank you, KDM. I love you.
Oh, Otis is getting out. Bye, Otis. See you next week. Oh, wait. Maybe not. Yeah, Roxanne says Whitney had a powerful voice. It's so effortlessly. I mean, also, man, she hit every note and she owned every note.
So effed up, though.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. It all started probably, my guess is, with that Bobby Brown thing.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, drugs are powerful things, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what?
Time?
We've got
all right.
We've got 11 votes. That might be as good as it gets. And
yeah, it shows.
I squeaked it out.
I'm sorry?
I barely squeaked it out. It's 6-5. Yep.
Roxanne says, Lou, want to know what self-love is about? Make coffee and bring it with you. For real. Okay, Roxanne, chill. First of all, chill. Men are so smart and chill. I did make coffee, okay? And when I went in the house the last time, I talked about how small this cup was. Did we have anything bigger? So as not to have to go through this. It didn't work.
And Otis is stick around. He's just saying goodbye to Jason, by the way.
I'm staying with GB to Jason. GB?
Yeah. Goodbye.
Oh, okay. All right.
Goodbye.
Oh, I got it. Ow.
Bye-bye. Yeah, bye-bye. Goodbye.
All right, well, we're over the hour. Let's see. Dear Lou and Ronnie, where do you guys stand on this good guy, bad guy thing? Which are you? When I guess what they're applying this to is how women seem to love the bad guys, the bad boys.
Oh, yeah. I'm so squeaky clean that it's just not even a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I rode a motorcycle for a lot of years, but I was like one of those good motorcycle riders.
Yeah, like Jamie in the commercial Progressive Insurance.
Yes. Yeah, I am Jamie.
I was the guy who rode the motorcycle with shorts, barefoot, and no helmet, and probably no shirt.
Yeah.
When there
was no helmet law back then.
When I was growing up and I had friends, the friends' moms would never let them play with me. No, Colin, he's a bad boy. You don't want to play with that Lou. He's going out with 2 different girls.
Well, hopefully that's not the only description of a bad boy. I did overlap a little bit sometimes,
Colin,
with my girlfriends.
Colin, I don't want you to play with that Lou boy. He rides one of those motorcycles.
Yeah.
Yep. I was one of those guys where the girls used to say, I don't want you playing. I don't want you seeing him. You know?
You know what? I think that sometimes the moms loved me more than the daughters did. I was so popular with the moms. Whereas sometimes the girls would go out with me a few times just to like, all right, we did it. We tried it. I'm not digging it. And then I could see the moms like crying at home. Oh, no.
I loved him so much. Well,
Yeah.
for me, in my senior year of high school, when it came time for the senior ball, I was going with a girl who I worked with at the car wash. Her name was Liz. I can't remember her last name. I think it was Hispanic. It might have been Padilla. She went to a different high school. But anyway, I had asked her to go to senior ball with me. Well, it just so happened that on that day, I had bought headers for my Pontiac Firebird. But I really didn't plan on how I was going to get the exhaust back to the mufflers. And so I bought straight pipe. And the senior ball was the last thing on my mind in terms of importance and priority.
Right.
So I did everything I possibly could to be able to get that car ready to drive all the way up to Whitney Rockland Country Club.
Yes.
And that required probably about 15 miles of freeway ride.
Yeah.
I went over to pick up Liz at her mom's apartment in that car with no headers. I mean, with no exhaust, only headers.
And by the time you got to Sunset Whitney, you probably couldn't even hear. Your ears were probably ringing.
Exactly. And when we drove away, there was fire coming out from underneath the car. Can you imagine being the mother of that daughter?
I'm surprised you never married her.
Somehow it just wasn't in the cards.
Mom wasn't going to have it. There's no way Mom was going to have that. No.
Melanie says, I can totally see the moms loving Ronnie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just am. I'm just a pretty all around pretty decent guy. I've never been a bully. I've never been bullied either. So I don't know much about that end of it. I've just kind of always been kind of right in the middle. Like I said, I was a band guy. I wasn't that much a sports geek. And so, I was a band geek, not a sports guy. So, and I think the sports guys tended to be a little bit more on the rebel side than the band guys.
Right.
I look at a lot of our football players like Rick Clemens and Billy Reed and those guys, and they were what was his name? Patrick Neal. Those guys, they were rough and tumble. So
men's
that
men.
wasn't me. Yeah, that wasn't me so much.
Yeah. I didn't have much of a sensitive side back then, believe me. Nowadays, it's a lot more different. Well, it's different. I don't know about a lot more.
Yeah.
All right. So Ronnie's the good guy. I'm the bad guy. You guys probably already had that figured out, though. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to get to? Dear Lou and Ron, apologize or permission?
Oh. Yeah, I'm probably more of an apologize guy.
So do it now, apologize later?
I have done that. I know when I had a motorcycle before we were married.
You associate a lot of this bad habits with motorcycles.
Yes. But I had sold it before I met my wife. I don't think she ever knew I had a motorcycle way back when. And then one day I used to work at a Honda store, and we had a motorcycle Honda store right next door. And they called me. They had a cherry of a bike come in. I went over and looked at it, fell in love with it, and I bought it and then brought it home. I'm like, well, here we go.
Yeah.
I hadn't really broken the news to her that in reality, I wasn't really looking for a motorcycle. But when you come across the greatest deal of all time, it's like, I don't have time to ask for permission. I'll ask for forgiveness.
Well, I can tell you that I'm kind of a apologize guy, and I'll cite one example where this completely backfired on me. I was working for a radio station, and then they were doing a national contest for people to call in and be the right number caller, and they could win $1,000. And the thing about the contest was, it was done all across the country at exactly the same time. And so you were supposed to bring this home on time. Well, the contest time came up. It was about 10 minutes after 9. And unfortunately, the sales manager had called us directly in the studio and was talking to us about something. She was bitching about something. And I missed the time. So what I did was I went in and I admitted what had happened, and I took responsibility for it. And I said, I'm really sorry, but we were on the phone and I missed the announcement time. And they said, well, what did you do? And I said, well, I wasn't able to do it. I got suspended.
Ooh, dang.
Here I apologized and I got suspended, which was funny because it was with pay.
So it wasn't that awful. Yeah.
Wasn't that bad. But I would say I'm more of an apologize guy. I'm probably not going to ask for permission.
Yeah, you know what? Now I tend to at least let my wife know that she's going to be mad at me. Like, hey, this is what I want. I'm going to buy it. So prepare yourself. And she doesn't really get mad. We go out and we just buy things that we want, and we don't get mad at each other. So
yeah. All right. Well, I think we've pretty much done all the damage we can do for one day, Ronnie.
Yeah, I think we've breached some new topics here. We broke some new ground.
Absolutely. That's what I was hoping to do today. I think we've accomplished that. Football, not watching.
Nope.
NASCAR, probably we'll watch later. Baseball,
Basketball?
My Yankees are out of it.
Yep. My Giants are out. I believe, and I've not really been watching a lot of baseball either, but I think the A's just lost.
Yeah, they're out of it. Houston beat them.
Yeah, so I won't be watching any more baseball.
They weren't as uppity as you might expect them to be. They kind of folded to the Astros.
They made it close though. They won a do or die game, and then couldn't put two back to back. So my Giants have been gone for a long time, and it was a really odd year. There's no Buster, so it was hard.
Everything's
they
effed
didn't
up.
have great pitching. The Giants just didn't have good pitching, and they didn't have great hitting either. So it's tough. If you have one or the other, sometimes you can stay in it. But if you don't really have either, it's a tough year.
I agree. All right, that'll do it for us. We hope to be with you next Sunday morning. If not, I think you'll understand. We don't have a way to get a word to people. That's the one gripe I have about YouTube. It's like I can't just post something and have all of our viewers get it. And if I'm wrong, then let me know on the live chat, because I can let you know there whether there will be a show or not. But I don't know how to do that. So hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Now comes the part of the show that everybody looks forward to. Will they be able to sign off without any trouble? I can't make any promises. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
We'll see you next time on Men Are So Smart. Bye-bye.
Whatever that
everybody.
may be.